A very, very warm good afternoon. And yes, I have a guest today on my show. Hiren is here. Good to see you back, Hiren. I hope you are doing fine. Earlier than usual. I have to play a little football myself this evening. So in a charity game. So I'm doing a little live a little earlier in the day. Hiren, you can still smile given the circumstances in Indian football. Um, Another day, new developments. The case of the All India Football Federation constitution today was discussed in the Supreme Court. Not much, but there's supposedly another hearing on Friday. So it sounds like on Friday we will also not have a judgment because now the sports bill has to be incorporated into the constitution. Hiren, what's your thinking? What's your thought process?
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हेलो टू एवरीवन एंड जैसे आपने बोला कि अब एज अ फैन तो हम स्माइल ही कर सकते हैं इंडियन फुटबॉल में और तो क्या कर सकते हैं आई थिंक वी हैव नथिंग मच टू डू बट या इट वाज अ इम्पोर्टेंट डे एंड सुप्रीम कोर्ट में फाइनली यहाँ पे कुछ क्लियरिटी के लिए यहाँ पे चीज़ें उनके सामने रखी गई एंड जैसे आपने बताया कि फ्राइडे को यहाँ पे फिर से वो लोग फर्दर जो भी एक्शन ऑफ प्लान होगा वो बताएंगे लेकिन एक चीज जो मेरे को आज की हियरिंग में दिखी वो ये है कि कोर्ट के सामने जब AIFF ने रखा कि नेशनल स्पोर्ट बिल हैज बीन पास्ड इन पार्लियामेंट एंड विद इन वीक प्रेसिडेंट भी उनको अप्रूव कर देंगे तो उन्होंने बोला कि वी आर अवेयर ऑफ इट एंड उन्होंने एक चीज ये बोली कि जो स्पोर्ट्स बिल है उनके मोस्ट ऑफ द क्लोजेस को हमने जो हमारा AIFF का न्यू कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का वर्डिक्ट है उसमें इनकॉर्पोरेट कर दिया है बट वी वांट टू हियर द ओपिनियन ऑफ द पार्टीज हु आर इन्वॉल्व इन दिस न्यू कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन केस तो आई थिंक मैटर चलेगा थोड़ा सा लंबा कि अब यहाँ पे फ्राइडे को वो आई थिंक एक नेक्स्ट डेट देंगे कि जहाँ पे सभी जो भी पार्टीज है FSDL AIFF 2-3 इंडिविजुअल पार्टीज उन सबको बोलेंगे कि आप अपना आंसर सबमिट कीजिए या फिर जो नेक्स्ट डेट होगी उसमें आप अपना दीजिए देन फाइनल हियरिंग आएगी एक और चीज उन्होंने बोली कि बिफोर द 8 दिसंबर क्योंकि एमिकस क्यूरी ने बोला कि 8 दिसंबर तक FSDL का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है सो जज ने बोला कि 8 दिसंबर से पहले हम जजमेंट दे देंगे सो आई थिंक मैटर इज गोना स्ट्रेच फॉर आई थिंक फॉर अनदर वन और 2 मंथ बट सीन ये है सर कि seeing the whole situation that would be too late maybe because the patience of the ISL club owners and the schedule of the Indian football is not gonna you can say कि maybe अगर नवंबर में यहाँ पे जजमेंट आता है तो जो लॉस है इंडियन फुटबॉल को वो काफी ह्यूज होगा सो दैट इज द मेन कंसर्न एंड आई थिंक कोर्ट हैज टू prioritize this matter. I think still I'm surprised कि भाई no one from the AIFF side or any other party is able to convince or the AIFF यहाँ पे सुप्रीम कोर्ट को वो मतलब ये जो ग्रेविटी ऑफ सिचुएशन है वो उस तरह से मेरे को लगता है कि नहीं समझा पाया है अदरवाइज आई थिंक मे बी चीजें आगे फॉरवर्ड हो सकती थी और दूसरा एक चीज की यहाँ पे seeing all the scenario ये भी लगता है कि गवर्नमेंट का भी कहीं ना कहीं अभी फुटबॉल प्रायोरिटी नहीं है अदरवाइज आई थिंक इन दिस काइंड ऑफ सिचुएशन व्हेन यू हैव अ एक्जिस्टेंशियल क्राइसिस तो गवर्नमेंट की ओर से भी इंटरफेरेंस हो जाता है जैसे हमने 2022 में देखा था कि जब बैन लग गया देन गवर्नमेंट केम इनटू द सीन एंड सॉर्टेड आउट द थिंग्स तो वैसा भी उसी तरह का ये सिचुएशन है बट दे आर नॉट गिविंग द प्रायोरिटी इंपॉर्टेंस तो वो भी एक डिसअपॉइंटिंग बात है बट सिचुएशन है ओवरऑल इज रियली रियली लुकिंग बैड एंड ऊपर से आपने देखा कि कल्याण चौबे और उनका जो रिजीम है जिस तरह से वो चीजें मैनेज कर रहे हैं दैट्स नॉट अ गुड साइन सो
It's very worrying in that way. And Benjamin, welcome back. So asking, so any possibility of a major decision sooner than December? If and it is a point. I guess nobody knows. I think that is that if anybody says anything else, but this and this date, this would this happen, I think that person just cannot say that. In my opinion, what happened today is that the Supreme Court heard the case. The AIFF was represented. I don't know if it was properly brought across what the situation is. I'm also a little surprised here, and I don't know how you take it, but I thought that Supreme Court judges and justices read a lot. So do they read newspapers or don't they read newspapers? Because my question would be, would they have read any of the newspapers in the last few weeks where multiple times, even in major dailies of India which are available in Delhi, that they did not read the situation of the Indian Super League. So therefore, Blue is asking what happened in Supreme Court. It was discussed. There's the next hearing on Friday. And on Friday, it looks like there will be no judgment. There will be another hearing on the matter. And now suddenly the Supreme Court also has realized, oh, you know what, there's been something called the sports bill. So we are in a situation where this thing could drag on and drag on. And Metaphrim, your question is, my concern is also what I felt today was, if you listen a little bit to the hearing, is that once more, the people who've done the case against the AIFF and its constitution are painting Reliance as being the bad boys in this whole equation. And I think that to me is a big concern, that at some stage, Reliance Industries will say, "Okay, if we are bad for Indian football, we walk away." So therefore, for me, that is a big concern, Hiren, because at the moment we have to be honest. If Reliance walks away, at least for 25-26, I don't see a top tier Indian league happening.
Yeah, absolutely true. Without, I think जो ओवरऑल ये जो पूरा सुप्रीम कोर्ट में केस चल रहा है, आई थिंक जो भी पार्टीज है दे हैव देयर वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट, वो क्लियरली मतलब यहाँ पे यू कैन सी कि हमें दिख रहा है. अदरवाइज आई थिंक जो न्यू कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का मैटर है उसमें पार्टीज ही आपके यहाँ पे एआईएफएफ, स्टेट अफेयर्स, क्लब्स एंड एफएसटीएल जो इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेक होल्डर है कि जिनको इम्पैक्ट कर रहा है वही होने चाहिए. व्हाई दिस इंडिविजुअल पीपल, बट दे आर वांट टू यू कैन से कि फुलफिल देयर सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट, वो क्लियरली विजिबल है. दूसरा जो आपने बोला कि दे आर ट्राई टू पिक्चर, बोला केस है पूरा आपका कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का, एंड हमने प्रीवियस हियरिंग्स भी सुनी है जहाँ पे इट्स मतलब पूरा जो फोकस किया गया, मैं नहीं बोल रहा कि नहीं डिस्कस होना चाहिए, बट पूरा जो फोकस किया गया वो वही चीज के ऊपर किया गया कि क्या भाई एएसएल में प्रमोशन डेलीगेशन होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए, और एमआरए की रिगार्डिंग. जबकि मैटर है आपका न्यू कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन का कि वहां पे आपकी किस तरह का स्ट्रक्चर होना चाहिए, एफएफ का प्रेसिडेंट का टेन्योर क्या, वो सारी चीजें डिस्कस करनी चाहिए कि क्या उनके पावर क्या किस तरह से होगा, रादर देन डिस्कसिंग the matters which should be in the power of the elected body. So वो कहीं ना कहीं क्लियरली दिखाता है कि जो पीपल पार्टीज बने हुए इंडिविजुअल बेसिस पे भी दे हैव देयर सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट. एंड दूसरा जो एमिकस क्यूरी ने भी बोला कि एफएसडीएल का 8 दिसंबर तक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है, तो व्हाई दे आर नॉट स्टार्टिंग द लीग. अरे मेरे भाई, ये फुटबॉल में आपकी जब लीग स्टार्ट होती है तो आप उसको बीच में रोक तो नहीं सकते ना कि 8 दिसंबर में मान लीजिए कि चलो तब तक उन्होंने लीग चलाया और फिर दोनों पार्टीज के बीच में एग्रीमेंट नहीं बना, देन व्हाट विल यू डू. सो आई थिंक एमिकस क्यूरी भी मतलब आई डोंट नो कि कौन उनको इन्फ्लुएंस कर रहा है, बट जिस तरह से उन्होंने प्रीवियस स्टांस भी लिया था, इस बार भी जो आज के इनिंग में भी जिस तरह का उनका स्टांस दिखा है, एंड उसके बाद एफएसडीएल के भी लॉयर को आई थिंक ड्यू टू दी टाइम कंस्ट्रेंट बोलने नहीं दिया गया. सो इट ऑल सीम्स लाइक कि भाई जो आपका इतना इंपॉर्टेंट केस है उसमें द पीपल वो आर इन्वॉल्व्ड is not have a best interest of Indian football. I think वो तो clearly visible दिख रहा है.
And that is, I think that's the you know the difficulty of the situation, I think. And I think the gravity of the situation is not being understood. As I said here, and we've spoken about this. I remember 2 years back when we were doing together with Sports Khabri and all of that, and nobody wanted to take it seriously. And now we are in the situation where a lot of entities are, people who are working in entities actually trying to keep those entities alive. Right? It is nothing more, nothing less. At the moment, it is about keeping entities alive, because a number of clubs, franchisees are thinking of shutting down. A lot of people are telling me, oh, even in the I League, oh, even below that, so therefore for me, the whole structure is in danger. Even I League teams are now saying, should we actually form a full team or should we just wait? Right? The situation with foreigners, I think we've just seen the start of foreigners set to leave Indian shores. So therefore these are very, very difficult things, and we need to question of what is going to happen, what is not going to happen. And it's people are not realizing in what a situation we are. And if the ISL doesn't happen, even the I-League will be a collateral damage. I think that should be understood by people, because no ISL means no 50 crores to,
AIFF.
So AIFF, very, very
And
difficult, right?
नहीं नहीं आप देखिए ना सर, आई लीग का भी तो कोई बात तो नहीं कर रहा ना अभी। अक्टूबर में आपने जो कैलेंडर निकाला है उसमें यू मेंशन आई लीग विल स्टार्ट ऑन अक्टूबर, एंड अभी आपका अगस्त चल रहा है। नो यू कैन से कि जो दुरान कप में आई लीग टीम खेल रही है उन्होंने ही अपना टीम उतारा है, बाकी सारे ने किसी ने तो प्री सीजन नहीं किया है, सच कोई फॉरेनर वो भी साइन नहीं कर रहे हैं। सो दे आर आल्सो बेसिकली इन अ सेम यू कैन से कि सिचुएशन एट द मोमेंट। सो उनको उनको भी हाँ
the whole system, Iran, is in the same situation, and it is very, very difficult, right? And methamphetamine says, yes, True Officer is being put into bad light, and sadly enough, the legal representative did not get to put forward his points too, unfair to them, and could cause issues later to entire league as whole. 100%. Because if Reliance doesn't do the ISL, who will come forward, right? And therefore, what to say? I mean, those are the realities. And Newton Chacha, can we expect final decision on 22nd August? No. It's another hearing now, right? That means it's going to be pushed back at least till the end of the month. The ideal case scenario, I don't even know, because the question is, if points are raised with the Supreme Court on Friday, then they will have to incorporate some of those points into their final constitution.
नहीं एक चीज जो आपने बोली है काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है। आई थिंक जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आज बोला कि मैं जितनी भी पार्टीज है उनका ओपिनियन जानना चाहता हूँ रिगार्डिंग दिस न्यू स्पोर्ट बिल। हमने तो अपने ओर से पॉइंट इनकॉर्पोरेट कर दिए हैं, लेकिन आई वांट टू हियर फ्रॉम, आई थिंक जिस तरह से हमने पहले बात की कि जिस तरह से जो पार्टीज है उनके वेस्टेड इंटरेस्ट है, दे विल ट्राई टू डिले दिस थिंग। मेरे को ये लगता है कि वो मतलब झूठ मूठ के जैसे पॉइंट हमने देखे थे जब रेलीगेशन प्रमोशन की बात कर रहे थे, और उज्बेकिस्तान का रैंक इतना है, वो रैंक इतना है, और जिस तरह से पूरा मिसगाइड करने की कोशिश की गई थी। आई थिंक सिमिलर थिंग्स विल डू दिस बाय दिस पीपल इन द नेक्स्ट हियरिंग्स, जब उनसे उनका ओपिनियन या फिर जो भी उनका पॉइंट है वो बोला जाएगा कि आपका क्या ख्याल है नेशनल, तो दे विल रेज सर्टेन पॉइंट की जिससे भाई चीजें डिले होगी। आई थिंक उसमें एएफएफ भी हो सकता है, क्योंकि एएफएफ का होल पॉइंट अभी जो रिजिम का है वो वही दिख रहा है कि दे वांट टू पुश दिस सिचुएशन फर्दर एंड फर्दर, ताकि उनका भाई रिजिम चलता रहे। अदरवाइज दे आल्सो नो कि जैसे वर्डिक्ट आएगा इलेक्शन होगा उनका टाटा बाय बाय है। सो आई थिंक इंडिविजुअल पार्टीज भी, मेरे को लगता है कि कोई उसमें से ये जो मैटर है इसको और ज्यादा मतलब फाइनल हियरिंग तक मे बी पहुंचने में डिले करवा सकता है। एटलीस्ट अगर कोर्ट ने बोला है कि 8 दिसंबर तक 8 दिसंबर से पहले दे देंगे, then they will try to maybe push till the November. I feel that.
The problem at the moment is, if you look at the case, to me, there is no quick solution to be found, right? And that is something which is very worrisome, and something which is, is putting a lot of livelihoods in danger. And I know certain people who have worked now across teams in the ISL for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. Some people have been there since the start. And some of them, even if they look at options, where are the options in the Indian sports market? Right? And because the ISL and the I-League were the only two leagues which were running year through. So you had a 12-month job with an entity, with a team, with the club. In other sports, again, there are a lot of people who do job hopping. No, they work for a franchise for 2 months, for 4 weeks, for 6 weeks. This is a very, very sad situation, and we'll have to live with that. And that, therefore, it's a very complex situation that we find ourselves in. And the question is if the courts can sort it out in a realistic time frame, because that realistic time frame, again, many people said they will do it directly after the summer holidays. This will be sorted by 15th or by 18th of July. Today is the 18th of August. We have a hearing on the 22nd. and on the 22nd, the final decision is not coming. It's another hearing. And if they want to listen, so therefore that is a very, 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 very
I think एक चीज सर मेरे को अभी भी लगती है कि जैसे हमने स्टार्टिंग में थोड़ा सा बात किया उसके ऊपर कि जो पार्टीज इन्वॉल्व है वो अभी तक कोर्ट को इस मैटर की ग्रेविटी और ये कितना डे बाय डे जितना ये डिले हो रहा है कितना इम्पैक्ट कर रहा है वो नहीं समझा पाया है उनको. अदरवाइज दिस केस शुड बी, अगर आपको मांझे की न्यू स्पोर्ट बिल को इनकॉर्पोरेट करना है, लोगों का ओपिनियन लेना है, यू हैव टू डू देन डे टू डे हियरिंग्स. आप कीजिए ना डे टू डे. ये मैटर सीरियस है. दिस इज नॉट मैटर की जिसमें आप अभी 22 को एक नया डेट दे देंगे कि भाई हम 5 सितंबर को करेंगे, आपका रिस्पॉन्स लेंगे. उतना टाइम में तो आपका देखिए 31 का इंटरनेशनल विंडो चला जाएगा, आपका प्लेयर्स छोड़ के चला जाएगा फॉरेनर्स, एंड उसके बाद अगर आप अक्टूबर में स्टार्ट कर रहे हो, व्हाट इज द पॉइंट. सो ये देखिए जितना दिन ये डिले हो रहा है, दिस अफेक्टिंग द होल इंडियन फुटबॉल सीजन. सो ये अभी तक जो पार्टीज है वो यहाँ पे कोर्ट को समझा नहीं पाया है. सो अगर आपको नेक्स्ट हियरिंग करनी भी है, क्योंकि अब हम हियरिंग के वो फिर से विशियस साइकिल में फंस चुके हैं जो कि 2017 से चल ही रहा था, तो आई थिंक आपको डिमांड करनी चाहिए थी कि भाई डे टू डे हियरिंग करो या फिर इटली वीकली करो, ताकि ये मैटर आप अगर आपने से बोल दिया कि 8 दिसंबर से पहले हम दे देंगे, जब से एमआरए खत्म हो रहा है उससे पहले, तो भाई 8 दिसंबर तक तो बातें मतलब क्या सिचुएशन इज गोना बी दी कंप्लीटली यू कैन से कि गॉन आउट ऑफ द हैंड.
And Hiren, the big fear is that the whole 25-26 season is in danger of not happening.
Danger. Yes, exactly.
That's a real danger now, right? If people understand it, what happened today with another hearing date, as you say, maybe they should do hearings every day on the matter and schedule an hour every day at least. I think the gravity of the situation has not been understood by the Honorable Supreme Court of India. The impact of their decision has not been understood. And also at the end of the day, is it a matter of your jurisdiction? I go back to the basic question of all of this, right? So therefore, what the timelines we have now is, even if we get a decision by the end of August, ideal case scenario at this moment.
Fastest
end of next week, 29th of August is, let's say, ideal case scenario. We have a final constitution and a judgment and a constitution. That constitution then needs to go another clearing to FIFA. Theoretically, the current AIFF would have to call an election, right? That election process will take 45 days at least, if not 60 days. So we're middle of October, end of October. The new AIFF needs to come in and get into a negotiation with FSDL. By then to end of the year. Right? And this whole topic of, can we get an interim constitution? Can we get something in place?
इंट्रीम तो सर 2022 में भी जब बैन आया, उसके बाद आपने जो इलेक्शन करवाए वो भी तो इंट्रीम बेसिस पे ही करवाए थे ना. तो आप फिर से वहीं पे आके अटके हो कि भाई अब अगेन वी आर गोइंग बैक टू द इंट्रीम कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन नाउ. उस टाइम पे आपने इंट्रीम इलेक्शन करवा के आपने बॉडी चुन ली. अब आप जा रहे हो कि भाई अगर सिचुएशन ऐसा है कि वी आर गोइंग फॉर अ इंट्रीम कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, तो दैट डजंट मेक एनी सेंस ना. आप उसी में फिर से आप कोई परमानेंट सॉल्यूशन तो ला नहीं पा रहे हो फिर.
Yeah, so that's the problem, right? So therefore, again, this is the situation. Let me take some more comments. Maybe they only read the front page. ठीक है, Nishant, if you think that we talk fake baate, no one's forcing you to be here. Sorry, if you don't think that we are talking the right things the right way, again, if you believe other people, that is your choice. But I think this is the most honest platform that you will get on Indian football. So either you believe what we say or you believe what other people say, and then, yeah, welcome to La La Land or in the Lulu Land or whatever we call it. Hi, Abhishek. Mohun Bagan has decided not to release the national team players for CAFA Nations Camp, a Cup camp. What about the U23 players? Red Apple, from what I understand, it's for both. Hiren, I don't know if you've heard anything else. My understanding is that they don't want to release any player at this moment in time, right? And I again, this is the AIFF, with all this happening, is in no position to bargain with the clubs about this.
Club. True.
Right? If it's a give and take relationship. I help you, you help me. Yeah. And so therefore for me, for me, again, from Mohun Bagan's stand of view, at least for the seniors, I would have said, also for the juniors, I think this is good exposure because they would play competitive matches. See it from that perspective. Most of your national team players are potential starting players, right? So from that perspective, but again, the other problem is if you're going to miss 11 players out of your whole squad, how do you're going to be training with your juniors or your reserve team. And that's a factual problem at the moment because you don't have competition. So therefore, to me, it still is a wrong decision. But very difficult. I don't know what you think, Hiren.
I think same again. We go back to 2023 September scheduling. The whole thing comes to the one you can say कि scenario and that is scheduling. जब आप schedule में mess up करते हो तो then you have to face all of these things. So मोहन बगान भी अपनी जगह पे, जैसे आपने बताया कि अगर 11 प्लेयर चले जाएंगे तो बाकी rest of the foreigners फिर किसके साथ training, that doesn't make any sense. And already we have seen in yesterday's little bit competitive match in Derby कि किस तरह से they are facing the or they are lacking the match sharpness. So आई थिंक वो उनका जेन्युइन उस तरह से प्रॉब्लम है. बट दूसरी साइड ये भी है कि अगर आप इंडियन प्लेयरों को रिलीज करेंगे दे विल गेट दैट 3 क्वालिटी मैचेस, कॉम्पिटिटिव मैचेस, जो कि उनको हेल्प करेंगे टू प्ले इन दी ACL2. सो एंड AIFF ने जिस तरह से चीज़ें हैंडल की है, मतलब आई थिंक इट मेक्स सिचुएशन डिफिकल्ट फॉर नेशनल टीम ऑल्सो, फॉर अंडर 23 ऑल्सो, एंड फॉर क्लब ऑल्सो themselves. So this is the consequence, this is the you can say कि consequences you face when you have a incompetent body. मतलब at the end of the day आपकी फुटबॉल को वो प्राइस पे करना पड़ता है. People take it as a lightly or they don't want to, you can say कि act, जिनके पास पावर है to do something. But जब आप इस तरह की चीजें आप क्या बोलते हैं कि लेट गो करने देते हो कि भाई चल रहा है चलने दो, तो एट द एंड ऑफ द डे मतलब जो सिचुएशन है वो आपके फुटबॉल को ही फेस करनी पड़ती है, चाहे वो नेशनल टीम हो चाहे क्लब फुटबॉल हो.
That's the problem. Do you think that Supreme Court can let MRA to be extended for a season? What is the possibility that it will happen even if they allow this? But I mean, your second question to me is a more important one. The AIFF informally, indirectly has not even spoken to Reliance and said, if we ask the Supreme Court, would you be willing to extend the contract till end of May 2026? Simple question. That question, that conversation has not been had. So therefore, it is the weirdest one would be if the Supreme Court clear everything, allow everything, and then Reliance says, you know what, thank you very much, we're just leaving. It might happen, right? Because it is, I don't know. It's a very, 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 very tricky situation. Namaskar and good evening, Ashley. Welcome back. Newton Chacha says, "Bhai, 8 December तक कोर्ट का मामला सुतलेगा तो इलेक्शन और MRA negotiation कब होगा? ISL 25-26 season will be cancelled क्योंकि May 2026 से पहले लीग खत्म करना है." Yeah, I mean, Newton, that's the problem. As I say, I think the most realistic starting point at the moment, as we talk today, if things go well, is middle of Jan, because I think a lot of foreigners will leave in the coming days. Even force majeure, theoretically, foreigners most probably will be allowed to leave outside of the window. I think that would be something that FIFA most probably would allow. We've had this situation. I take the example, let's say, of the Ukraine war, that Ukrainian players were suddenly allowed to move in March 2022. So that might happen. But then the question is, in December, Indian clubs can't sign foreigners, right? So therefore, I guess clubs will then say to Reliance, rather than starting around, I don't know, middle of December, if that is an option, that most probably middle of Jan is the most likely option, that clubs can sign players in the winter transfer window, because that has to be kept in mind. So therefore, scheduling very difficult, na Hiren?
आई थिंक डिफिकल्ट। एंड एक और चीज है कि जो क्लब्स ने भी पॉइंट रखा था कि इफ यू आर, आपकी जो टॉप लीग नहीं होती है, देन यू आर गोना लूज द एएफसी स्पॉट आल्सो। सो वो भी चीज है कि आपको वो भी 24 मैचेस कैसे भी आपके देखिए, जो क्लब्स दुरांत कप नहीं खेले हैं उनके तो वो 3 मैचेस आपको आगे कहीं ना कहीं कंपनसेट, अगर मान लीजिए कि कोई जो लीग विनर है वो आपका एट द एंड ऑफ द डे अगर कोई दूसरा बनता है, आप लीग का फॉर्मेट चेंज करके 2-3 महीने में कंप्लीट करने की कोशिश करोगे, तो वो भी एक आपको पॉइंट इन कंसिडरेशन करना पड़ेगा। सो देयर आर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स जो कि इन्वॉल्व है। एंड आई थिंक सिचुएशन जैसे सर ने बोला कि इट्स वेरी वेरी ट्रिकी। लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स कैन हैपन, लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स माइट हैपन वाली चीज है। बट बात देखिए आपकी एक ही जगह पे आके रुक गई है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट वाले मैटर पे। अब आगे जो स्टेक होल्डर जिस तरह से रिएक्ट कर रहे हैं, हमने एएफएफ का कल यू टर्न देखा, जिस तरह से क्लब्स अपने हिसाब से रिएक्ट कर रहे हैं, एफएसडीएल का जो अभी स्टांस है, आई थिंक सॉल्यूशन से ज्यादा अब मेरे को लगता है कि चीजें ये लोग खुद ही वैसे ही कॉम्प्लिकेट कर रहे हैं। सो
That's the problem, no? That's the whole issue. Blue is asking, does Mohun Bagan management take decisions from their knees? Their players are basically not playing the only competitive games they could get this year. Not only bad for India, but worse for themselves. Blue, I agree. I think this is the big problem for Mohun Bagan. For Goa, any kind of exposure, any kind of competitive matches for their players is good. And when we saw FC Goa the other day, let's be honest about it, it was the foreigners who carried that team. Without the foreigners, I'll see do a massacre on Goa. So therefore, and Mohun Bagan, I've seen now some highlights from yesterday. This was the worst Mohun Bagan that I've seen in a while. And this team wants to play Asian level. You people really think that Mohun Bagan can finish second in the group? I don't know. What do you think?
आई थिंक डेफिनेटली कल जो, जैसे मैंने बोला ना कि कल थोड़ा सा कम्पिटेटिव मैच उनको मिला, एंड जो प्लेयरों की जिस तरह से फिटनेस दिख रही थी और जिस तरह से मतलब वो खेल रहे, चाहे वो फॉरनर्स हो इंडियन हो, दे डोंट लोग कि भाई वो मतलब अभी आपके आईएसएल लेवल या फिर उस वो कोच ने भी यहाँ पे बिफोर द मैच भी बोला था, ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं बोला है। कोच मोलिना ने खुद ने बोला था कि वी आर स्टिल इन अ प्रीसीजन लेवल एंड अभी हम यहाँ पे अपने बेस्ट वर्जन पे नहीं है। सो विदाउट दोज यहाँ पे एक्सपोजर कॉम्पिटिटिव मैचेस आपके प्लेयर उस लेवल तक नहीं पहुंच पाएंगे, वो रियलिटी है। एंड दूसरा सर मैं जानना चाहता था कि ये जो क्लब्स ने यहाँ पे जब मीटिंग हुई एफएसडीएल क्लब्स ने एआईएफएफ की, तब सभी पार्टीज ने एग्री किया कि जब से वर्डिक्ट आएगा उसके बाद 60 डेज का टाइम लगेगा टू किक ऑफ दिस सीजन। सो वो भी एक टाइमलाइन में अगर आप देख, नहीं
Hiren, the timelines that they've given in that meeting is unrealistic. Also, this whole Super Cup discussion. How can you hold a Super Cup if you don't know when the league is starting? Okay, what did Kalyan Chaubey say? Oh, hold the Super Cup in September because in October we have important matches against Singapore. That was his logic, right? So therefore, all of these things, again, I-League not being discussed at all. And we saw last year what happened, no? The clubs had to gang up, the clubs had to pay money to Sony, and then suddenly everything happened in the short 2-week window. But the ISL, Reliance will not do that. Let's be very clear. Reliance will organize its league properly. If things don't happen properly, Reliance will better not organize it. Look at the way Reliance organized the ISL during the bubble. It was termed as one of the best leagues in the world during the bubble. Right? They have a certain standard. The AIFF, sadly, do not have that. No?
True.
That's the whole problem at the moment. FCB says, good evening. New Zealand have also qualified for World Cup. Yes, now permanent slot for Oceania. So therefore, Sarpreet Singh could be one only Indian origin player at the World Cup, next World Cup. Let's see. If they were asked about salary, judges were laughing. Is it true? I didn't watch it, so I can't say it. Hiren, did you watch it today or? by any chance?
नहीं देखा.
So, but this salary thing was this. I know that it has been put forward to the Supreme Court in the past, and I think, yeah, let's see. Hi, SCT. Is it common for courts to get involved in sports issues? Is it just only in India? SCT, it is mainly an Indian problem, because in other countries you have a separate sports court, sports tribunal, as now says the new sports governance bill, but that has also judges who normally have some sort of background in sports and understanding of sports. My question is, sports tribunal, Hiren, कौन आएगा? Simple question.
हाई कोर्ट एंड सुप्रीम कोर्ट के वो फॉर्मर जज का बोल रहे हैं ना. बट मैं वही जानना चाहता हूँ सर कि जैसे आपके जर्मनी में या फिर ये जो कास में जो जजेस है, उनका अपॉइंटमेंट कैसे हो, मतलब उनका बैकग्राउंड क्या रहता है, हाउ दे रीच टू दैट लेवल?
See, if you see the lawyers, for example, fighting caste cases, right? For example, the gentleman who fought the case for Interkashi, those guys have a legal background with a sports background attached to it.
Background, yeah.
Right. Also, the judges or justices have worked in sports tribunals or sports courts in their respective countries, or even, let's say, at EU level. Right. So they have some sort of understanding of sports. Because if you don't have and this is why the problem is, with all due respect to the justices looking at this case, what is your background in what is your understanding of sports? Do you understand football, and do you understand sports governance? Right? That is the problem of at the moment, and therefore in India things are taken to court, even things that should not be in the jurisdiction of court. Right? You should have a strong internal system of appeal committee and league committee and player status committee, which again also at this moment in the AIFF is a problem. Right? So the whole legal recourse system within Indian football is not working. So yeah. Thanks, Rudro. What's your take on Sunil not being picked for national team? Arnav, after he explained it, I'm fine with it. To be very honest, if you want to try something, try karne do. What I would have said to Khalid, at least, looking at that, I have 22 players and 3 of them are goalkeepers, so it means that I don't even have enough players to play a 11-a-side game. Okay, today it's changed, 3 players called up, but still I would have Sunil's training in Bangalore. I would have just called him to the camp as an extra player. Now you have a situation, let's say we've got 2 injuries and the Mohun Bagan players don't come. What do you do? I would have called him up, right? And I think I don't know, for me it is fine. I think the logic that Khalid gave, but my problem is the way that the AIFF has been announcing things over the last 3 days. First, you put out a list of, these players have not been called up. And we request the clubs to release them. Very nice that you do it via social media. Then, while we're doing this live, it was Rudro who made us aware of a tweet while we're doing this show that they've announced the squad list. Then yesterday we had the announcement that Khalid first statements. Yesterday, Punjab FC announced that Mohamed Uwais has been called up. I have never seen the name Mohamed Uwais. Today they say, two Jamshedpur FC and Mohamed Uwais have joined the camp. Where does Mohamed Uwais suddenly come from? Right? The communication of the AIFF at the moment is very, very poor. Sorry to say that. I don't know what you feel, Hiren.
Absolutely, मतलब थर्ड क्लास. मतलब ये आपने ये मतलब क्या बोलते, जैसे आपने बोला कि जिस तरह से उन्होंने अनाउंस किया, आपको सिंपल सा 35 या फिर व्हाटएवर नंबर ऑफ प्लेयर्स जो प्रोबेबल लिस्ट में थे आपको अनाउंस करना था, नीचे एक स्टेटमेंट ऐड करना था कि भाई दिस आर द प्लेयर्स विल जॉइन आफ्टर देयर रिस्पेक्टिव दुरांत कप मैचेस और व्हाटएवर थिंग. सिंपल सी बात ये थी. और आपने 35 मेंबर की लिस्ट अनाउंस की, उसमें तो मोहम्मद उवैस का नाम ही नहीं था. अब आप क्लब ने अनाउंस कर दिया कि वो नेशनल टीम कॉल अप ले लिया है और फिर आप बोल रहे हो कि हाँ मोहम्मद उवैस भी ज्वाइन कर रहा है. तो दिस शोज कि भाई ये कितना डिसफंक्शनल एट द मोमेंट एएफएफ है. हाउ थिंग्स आर रनिंग इट.
Very bad, very bad. Rudra says Mohun Bagan would have to release players before 48 hours from September 1st, which is August 30th, because the FIFA window starts. Yeah. But again, the point is India plays its first game on the 29th.
9th, हाँ, तो फिर तो खालिद जमील भी नहीं लेगा ना, अगर 28 या 29 को अगर वो कर रहे नहीं लेगा.
So Khalid Jamil will go with the squad he has at the moment. He has 25
हाँ.
players. Worst case, he'll go with this squad, right? He also says we've seen enough after Mohun Bagan Supergiant player in national team. Our team, same team with or without Mohun Bagan Supergiant is same. Khalid, I don't, Rudra, I don't agree on that because there are certain players who can be the difference makers. I think Apuya is our best defensive midfielder by far. Apuya is by far our best defensive midfielder, and and our defense already is exposed. Now, if Apuya is not there, it's a free fall theoretically. So therefore, so therefore for me, I think Mohun Bagan players are needed. Even a Liston, even a Manvir are needed in the mix. But yeah, I don't know. Red Apple says then our under 23 Asian Cup qualifiers are gone. Two of our best players, Abhishek and Sohail, and also the Pendu aren't available. Red Apple, let's wait and see. I mean, the problem is again we are back to 2023. Hiren and I, with Rahul, with Akshata, with Shan, had a lot of discussion on these things in July, August of 2023 of how do you prepare for the September window. The September window is the most crucial. Every 2 years, it's the most crucial. Why? Because it's a combination of the senior national team and under 23s. Now, under 23s, to me, and therefore, is it gone? I don't know if it's gone, but it is weakening, and this is something the AIFF should have finished the Durand Cup by the 14th of August. Latest 14th of August, Durand Cup should have been played.
दिस ऑल गोज डाउन टू अगेन शेड्यूलिंग ना सर, जैसे हमने पास्ट में भी बात की है कि आपका शेड्यूलिंग अगर सही से होता और ये आपकी जो अंडर 23 क्वालिफायर्स की डेट है या फिर फीफा विंडो की डेट है, ये तो आपका एक साल, आपने जब लास्ट सीजन आप खेल रहे थे तब का ये अनाउंस हो चुका है. आपने तो अपना कैलेंडर बाद में बनाया है. सो व्हाई हैव यू गिवन अ 1 मंथ विंडो टू दुरांत कप? ये मेरे को समझ में नहीं आता कि आपने फिर जानबूझ के, आपको पता है आपके सामने डेट्स है कि भाई 1 से 8 सितंबर 9 सितंबर आपका फीफा विंडो है. यू हैव टू प्ले 2-3 व्हाटएवर मैचेस यू आर गोना गेट for the preparation of the next month qualifiers. You have a under 23 qualifiers. आपके सामने dates है. Then still why you given a 1 month window? ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. आपने जानबूझ के अपने पैर पे कुल्हाड़ी मारने वाली चीज की है ना.
That's the problem, no? Newton Chatter says Mohun Bagan management का अलार्म बहुत लेट बजा है. Durand Cup से लिमिट होने के बाद जग गया. Have they woken up? I don't know. Have they? I don't think so.
Exactly. I think the way they manage the things, last में दुरांत कप में participate करने का decision बनाना and everything, it looks like कि they are also a bit of in a, you can say कि like other clubs in a relaxing mode कि भाई ISL तो push हो रहा है, and then suddenly they realize कि maybe we are playing ACL 2 also. So I don't think so कि they have prioritized ACL 2 that much earlier, and suddenly because ISL now not happening, that is the only tournament they have to play. So yeah, आप देखिए ना, अभी भी उनकी रॉबसन रोबिन्यो की साइनिंग पेंडिंग है. अब रॉबसन रोबिन्यो अभी आप नेक्स्ट वीक ज्वाइन करेगा, एंड अभी तक आपने दुरांत कप में उसको अगर मैचेस खिलवाए होते, जैसे मान जी की ईस्ट बंगाल क्यों अच्छा ओवरऑल दिखी, बिकॉज उनके सारे फॉरनर्स पे स्टार्टिंग से जैसे प्री सीजन स्टार्ट किया सभी को उन्होंने बुला लिया था, तो ये वो इंटीग्रेट हो गए ना. नए फॉरनर्स जो आएंगे उनको भी टाइम लगेगा टीम के साथ प्लेयरों को अंडरस्टैंडिंग बिठाने में, एवरीथिंग. एंड आप जब ACL 2 में डायरेक्ट मैच खेल रहे हो, बीच में आपको मैचेस भी नहीं मिल रहे कि आप वो यहाँ पे केमिस्ट्री डेवलप कर पाए. आपको सीधा 16 को रिजल्ट चाहिए. आप देखिए ना सर, गोवा वाला मैच भी आप उठा के देख लीजिए. गोवा का थोड़ा सा बेनिफिट उनके लिए ये हो गया कि उनके मोस्ट ऑफ दी प्लेयर्स सेम थे, बट उसके बावजूद भी जो उनके 2 फॉरेनर्स थे उनको भी कहीं ना कहीं कुछ मोमेंट्स में आप देखिए कि दे आर ऑल्सो नॉट, यू कैन से कि इन सेम वेवलेंथ एज अदर प्लेयर्स, बिकॉज वो टाइम लगता है ना. आप जब साथ में खेलते हो मैचेस तब वो अंडरस्टैंडिंग बैठती है. सो अगर आप मोहन बगान 6th और 7th फॉरनर लाना चाहता है तो कब लाएंगे भाई? अभी तक तो आ जाने चाहिए थे.
Very, very right. Except Apuya, nobody else is needed in case of seniors, says Red Apple. But Rudra adds, Apuya is nothing extraordinary. And also, Khalid prefers midfielders like Pronoy and Tangri or Suresh who can do the dirty work and are workhorses. He does not prefer a proper number 10. again, I don't think he's a proper number 10. If we want to talk Apuya, I think Apuya is to me more of a 6 and an 8, right? And I think you are doing disservice to him because he can do the dirty work. Especially if you remember when Ahmed Jahu was at Mumbai City, he used to do the dirty work, right? So therefore, I think Apuya is one of the few players who can play a little bit with the ball, right? The others are just destructive. So I think we need, and even a Khalid needs that one kind of a player who can make the difference. I feel at least.
Xavi Hernandez.
Of a different level. Blue says Mohun Bagan Supergiant first of all needs one foreign midfielder. Without it, they can't function. That happened yesterday. Hope they don't get constipation before traveling to Iran this year. Blue, the problem is, will the foreigners travel? My first question.
वो सर वो
इरफान?
नहीं वो सोशल मीडिया पे कोई वो मतलब कोई टेक कर रहा था यहाँ पे बंगाली आई थिंक आई डोंट नो कोई मीडिया उसको कि भाई सेफान के वो मतलब ओनर या फिर व्हाटएवर जो उनके सीईओ है उन्होंने बोला है कि वी विल टेक इनटू आवर चार्टर प्लान जेसन क्यूमिंग्स एंड दिस पेत्रातोस क्यों मतलब हाँ मैं भी सोच एंड पीपल आर बिलीविंग दोस थिंग्स आई मीन क्या बोले मतलब
It's very, very sad. AIFF has done mastery in taking U-turn. I think yesterday evening there were a lot of phone calls going around. Because if you look at this timeline from around 6 p.m. to about midnight, the story changed X number of times. Ja rahe, nahi ja rahe. Ja rahe, ISL will be addressed. Nahi ja rahe. Ja rahe, are won't be. It was, so therefore, let's be very clear. The AIFF did not want to go to the Supreme Court mentioning this issue. Let's be very, 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 very clear. The clubs have, and I again say this, you've woken up too late. You need to get your owners active. Your owners need to go to Mrs. Ambani and then get Reliance to do, if Reliance is interested to do what it can do. Otherwise, this circus will most probably continue for another few weeks. And the likelihood of the season, I used to say it was 60-40 not happening, 70-30 not happening. At the moment, it's heading to about 75-25, 25 happening, 75 not happening. We're at this stage. We're that close of going towards the zero mark if these things continue. ISL will die the way things are going. Kalyan Chaubey is selfish alongside other parties. Yeah, average footy, very right. I mean, he has to take his share of the blame. I think that is what I say, and I've said in videos as well. I don't know what you think, Hiren, but he doesn't want to take his own share of the blame, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, this is their fault, and then there are the self-mentioned, self-fulfilling prophecy people. Oh, the club's this. Oh, this is Reliance's fault. Oh, this is that fault. This coach ka fault, and this again, as if you can't do anything wrong. सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है
हाँ, और अगर पिछले 2-2.5 साल का उनका टेन्योर का अगर लिस्ट निकालेंगे, सबसे ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम तो उन्हीं के है। बाकी पार्टीज के तो गलतियां है, 1-2 होगी, 2-3 होगी, इनका तो पूरा लिस्ट बन सकता है।
It's very, very sad. Molina's excuse was not a justification that if we had Greg, then we could have made a huge difference. Arnav, I don't think he didn't said it very well a little early on. East Bengal have been taking this serious properly. I think Oscar Bruzon has made some very, very good signings amongst the foreigners. And to me, they look better. But again, the sad part is that East Bengal seems to have a good team, but there seems to be no ISL. So that's the sad part.
The sad part, हाँ.
भाई तुम लोग को आपस में प्लेयर्स के ऊपर रख रहे हो. खालिद तुम्हारे हिसाब से प्लेयर सिलेक्ट नहीं करेगा. वो अपने प्लेइंग स्टाइल के हिसाब से प्लेयर्स बुलाएंगे. लेट हिम डू व्हाट ही वांट्स इन काफा. So what's the problem? Did I say anything else?
नहीं इसका मतलब नहीं if that is the case we can't discuss anything then.
Yeah, but
एज अ
I've said that let him decide on the players. And again,
हाँ
I didn't I say when he was signed that that he'll pick some of the players that he's had. Again, Albino Gomes was clear to me that he would be one of them. I think it is good that he's brought in Gurpreet. I think it's very, very important to have Gurpreet back. I also think it was a good idea to get Akash Mishra to the camp to see in what state is Akash Mishra. I don't even know if Akash Mishra is ready to play international football, but to just see हाल क्या है, because the guy has not played football, competitive football for 16 17 months. Yeah.
और एक चीज और है कि नया कोच आता है तो देखिए हर कोई कोच आता है वो अपने सर्टेन स्टाइल ऑफ प्ले प्रोफाइल काइंड ऑफ प्लेयर और अपने लाइकिंग वाले प्लेयर लेके आते हैं, उसमें कोई गलत नहीं चीज है। और जो फैंस भी डिस्कस कर रहे हैं जो अच्छी बात है जो बुरी बात है या फिर जो फैंस को जैसा लगता है वो अपना ओपिनियन शेयर कर रहे हैं, तो दैट्स आल्सो फाइन विथ इट, मतलब ये उसमें कोई वो वाली चीज नहीं है। और एट द एंड ऑफ द डे आप अपना यू कैन से कि जजमेंट कब दे सकते हो, व्हेन टीम प्लेज इन काफा नेशंस कप, जो उन्होंने प्लेयर पिक किए हैं, इफ दे वर्क then his selection would be right. If that doesn't work, then fans will criticize. It's as simple as that. That's how things work. तो उसमें कोई अगर पहले बोल रहा है कि ये उसने गलत किया तो वो गलत भी नहीं है, और कोई बोल रहा है कि इसने सही किया तो वो सही भी नहीं है, वो वाली चीज है। तो एज अ फैन तो वो वही सारा पॉइंट है ना कि भी आप डिस्कस कर सकते हो अपने ओपिनियन के हिसाब से, वो अपने थॉट प्रोसेस से चल रहा है, बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे वो वर्क करना चाहिए ऑन द फील्ड। जैसे मनोलो मार्केस की जो कुछ डिसीजन थी, मनोलो मार्केस ने भी लास्ट में क्या बोला कि आई डिडंट फाइंड द राइट काइंड ऑफ प्लेयर्स जो मेरे को चाहिए थे, वो तो मतलब एट द एंड ऑफ द डे वही तो आपका काम था कि आपको सही प्लेयर अपने हिसाब से चुनने चाहिए, तो वो नहीं कर पाए आप, एंड दैट्स व्हाई यू फेल्ड एट द नेशनल टीम। सो इसमें डिस्कस करने में कोई बुरी बात नहीं है भाई।
Exactly. Mohun Bagan Super Giant not releasing players because they're saying they are preparing for ACL2 is itself a joke. They don't care about ACL2. Rudra, there are two sides of the story. Yes, and no. And I say no, why? Because somewhere in the past, Mr. Goenka has said multiple times that he wants to focus on Asia. That is the reason over the last 2 years you saw the signings of Cummings and of McLaren.
Yeah.
And to me, what Mohun Bagan Super Giant has not understood, that you're playing teams who are way above your standard.
Your level.
Right? Someone was talking about on my show a few days back about JDT of Malaysia. And I said JDT today is not the same JDT that BFC beat in the AFC Cup in 2016 or semi-finals. Because today the whole squad is Spanish.
11 foreigners.
So therefore those comparisons don't work. The question for a Mohun Bagan Super Giant is, can I, for the same money that they're spending at the moment, I could have brought better players. Simple. But I don't have players with whom I can compete. If you look at FC Goa against Al-Seeb played till late in the second half with 11 Omani players. No foreigners, right? We had this conversation last year about Arkadag, about Rafshan. Same conversation last year. So the foreigners we have are sadly not of the level to be able to make that difference. So therefore that's the reality at the moment. And we don't have the exposure. We don't have the exposure. We need to recognize that. If I like it, you like it. We would like our clubs to be competitive at Asian level. I would love to see an Indian team play in the Champions League, elite, right? But we're not there, right? So that's the sad part, na?
नहीं इसका एक ही सॉल्यूशन है, और सॉल्यूशन क्या मतलब, जैसे आपने जेडीटी का जिक्र किया कि जेडीटी और ये आसियान क्लब जो क्लब्स है वो क्या करते हैं, चाहे वो थाईलैंड का है बुरीराम यूनाइटेड या फिर इंडोनेशियन क्लब्स, कि वो एशिया के लिए दे गो ऑल फॉरेनर्स, वहां पे फिर वो इंडियन प्लेयर को खिलाना है वो नहीं देखते हैं वो, तभी तो वो साउथ कोरियन या फिर जापानीज क्लब को टक्कर दे पाते हैं। दे ऑल्सो नो कि भाई हमारे प्लेयरों से, लोकल प्लेयरों से आप एशिया लेवल पे नहीं टिक पाते, उनका जो एएफसी का स्पोर्ट है उसको वो नहीं बचा पाएंगे उस तरह से कम्पीट करके। सो दे गोन विद द 9 10 11 फॉरेनर्स। तो या तो मोहन बगान या फिर उस तरह के क्लब को अगर एशिया को उनको सच में वो करना है, अपने आप को यू कैन से कि प्रूव करना है, दे हैव टू गो विद द यू कैन से कि मोर फॉरेनर्स एंड मोर बेटर क्वालिटी फॉरेनर्स, जैसे आपने बोला, then you can achieve something there.
And also what Raj says on top of this, yesterday Mohun Bagan got a reality check. The team didn't look like it's ready for top tier football, playing in ACL2 without proper league. We are now surely losing the direct spot. And Raj, this is the point I was saying on Friday, that Mohun Bagan Supergiant to me and FC Goa will have one huge problem compared to all other teams. They are not going to be in the league rhythm. I know that the rhythm is also tough because every 3-4 days playing, travel. I know it's tough, but you are in a playing rhythm. They are playing a match, then another 2 weeks break, then another 3 weeks break, then it's a huge problem in my opinion. And this is something that they will not be able to cover. And even now, if you sign players, they're not going to have match practice. If you bring in 2-3 new players, how will they gel with the others? That's why I think that if Mohun Bagan, in their own interest, because the CAF Nations Cup ends on the 4th if we don't make the
second
final or third place position, right? Matches. Otherwise, it finished on the 7th. So you still have 10 days, but my players will be in an intense national team setup. So therefore, I think it would be a wise decision. And another funny one by Rudro, don't worry guys, Super Cup Jhumla will be coming. It's already there, right? If Kalyan Chaube wants a Super Cup in September, I think he should be looking to buy his gloves because he has to play himself the Super Cup.
हाँ, एक चीज हमने डिस्कस नहीं की, मिस कर गए कि जो लास्ट अभी 13 या व्हाटएवर तारीख को जो मीटिंग हुआ एंड जो उसके मिनट्स रखे गए, उसमें उन्होंने बोला कि नेक्स्ट 7 to 10 डेज में हम फिर से मिलेंगे. आई डोंट थिंक सो कि आफ्टर यस्टरडेज इवेंट क्लब्स विल एग्री टू मीट अगेन. व्हाट डू यू से सर?
But Hiren, this was said on the 7th at the meeting. 7 to 10 days we will meet. That 10-day window was 17th. That was yesterday. Mila to nahi, baat hua, right? So the windows that it's gaslighting at the end of it, sadly, Hiren. Na, sach to nahi bol raha hai na, right? And Supreme Court on 22nd, next day will be given soon. That is a real danger. This thing of ending the whole thing by the end of this month looks very, 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 very unlikely in my opinion. If I'm very honest. That is my concern, you know? Mohammad Subhajan staying in Kolkata and doing practice doesn't make sense. Whom will you play? Some CFL teams.
CFL इंट्रा स्क्वाड ऐसा ही होगा. और क्या हो सकता है?
Goa releasing players but Mohammad Subhajan not. What an irony. Says Kumar, welcome back. Will this form Mohun Subhajan even not beating Ahal FC? Again, beating Ahal, again Ahal FC to beat even in league happening is a tough ask. Let's be honest, guys, you know, and without the league, I mean, you know, I'm very worried for Goa when they travel to Saudi. If they're not playing well in the league, they have not scored enough, then that day will be free fall. Mane, Joao Felix, Como, on top of that Cristiano, Brozovic पीछे से भी मार. They are an European level Champions League team. We saw that with Al Hilal in the Club World Cup. They were able to beat Man City and they deservingly beat Man City.
Yes.
So they are of a level in these kind of cup competitions, league matches, they can compete with the Europeans. And where are we? This is Champions League level. We are what? You know, the level that Wrexham used to play 3 years back. National League at the best. Right? Mohun Bagan intellect could have been seen with how they managed to deal with ACL2 last year. Yeah, sadly, I said that last year. You know, so to me, this is what to say. It is, and again, they're not learning out of their mistakes. Welton says, evening, what a time it is. Like it's 1 show after another. Fans are being pushed to limit, but these top clowns are just don't give a hoot. I was sure after the reaction stating, let's start another league, that these guys don't and will not step back for once to let this be sorted as they have there to be safe. Imagine this. My simple question about the other league is, who is going to fund the league? मेरा एक ही सवाल है. Who will fund the league? Who will broadcast the league? Something that everybody is forgetting also at this moment in time. Indian football's PR in the men's game is so bad.
Down in the drains.
So bad. Why would a sponsor come forward? Why would a broadcaster would come forward? Why would an investor and say, why would a marketing management company come forward to do something? Simple question. I ask this question to people, and let me ask this question to Hiren. Hiren, तुम्हारे पास crores है. You have a lot of money. हाँ. अरे है तुम्हारे पास, but मैं कभी नहीं बोला. That's a different question. But now, jokes apart, let's say you have 10 crores on the side, play money, right? You love football. Would Hiren Patel invest at this moment in time into anything in Indian football? And be honest, Hiren.
No. Absolutely no.
And that is the real problem. That even people like us, if you use your brain even for 1 millisecond, you will, if you have money, you will say, I'm not investing in this. Because nobody knows at the moment where are we, what is happening. Nobody knows. And this is the biggest danger. And this is what I warned again and again. Nobody wanted to listen at that time. This could happen. Sadly, it is happening. As I like to say with a lot of things, I would rather be wrong, but okay. Now sort it. Because the sorting is such a mess, and there are people involved who don't want the good for Indian football. Sadly. वो भी है, हिरेन.
सही बात है. वो ऊपर से मतलब जले पे नमक छिड़कने वाली बात है.
Molina also said 2 times that he didn't get enough players. Sorry, बोलो.
नहीं, just for मतलब थोड़ा सा टॉपिक से डिफरेंट. सिर्फ इंडियन फुटबॉल में ही ले ऑफ नहीं हो रहा है. ओरेकल हैज लेड ऑफ 10% एम्प्लॉई है. अभी मैं न्यूज़ मेरे को मिला. So
Hiren, if the US are going to do stringent regulations India के बारे में, तुम्हारा पूरा IT business क्या होगा? It is dependent on the US, na?
US,
So let's not even get into that discussion, na? Molina also said 2 times that he didn't get enough players. Looks like midfield position which still not sorted. Yeah, Blue. I think Molina would like a defensive foreign midfielder rather than an attacking player. With the attacking players he can manage, that he has. In Petratos, in Cummings, and in McLaren. For this reason, Mohun Bagan doesn't even buy good foreigners. What will they say? We want you to play 6 games in ACL2. That's horrifying. Shayan, last season they bought in, उसका नाम क्या था? Defender?
Yeah.
खेला नहीं.
Portugal, Nuno Reis.
Didn't play. So the players, as long as they get the money, some of them are fine, right? And John Johnson also हुआ थे ना, that he didn't play for 6 months and was with 80K at the time.
Yes,
that to me is not a reason. The problem is that for the other clubs, Mohun Bagan and FC Goa at least have those 6 matches. So the players will stick around till December. What do the others do? Edgar Mendes left.
Lucas Brambilla. Jesus
Jimenez left earlier, right? FC Goa lost a player like Uday. I think if the situation wasn't the way it is, Uday might have stayed another season because of Champions League potential football, right? न्यूटन इज राइट इन मोहन बागान सुपर जायंट का मीडिया ऑफिशियल ACL 2 ड्रॉ के टाइम वह इंटरव्यू में कोर्ट में फ्लेक्स कर रहा था कि वी हैव प्लेयर्स इंट्रोड्यूस्ड इन फीफा वर्ल्ड कप एंड 2 फ्रॉम ला लीगा, जो बोलना जरूरी नहीं था।
ये सारे लोग भाई अपना वो PR वो ये अपना ऐसे ही करने के लिए तो है सब भाई। ह्यूमन आप देखिए ना, इंडियन फुटबॉल में वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम इज द ह्यूमन कैपिटल। वी डोंट हैव ए द गाइज जो कि आपको जो भी फील्ड ऑफ है फुटबॉल में, उसमें जिस तरह के एक्सपर्ट या फिर जिस तरह के नॉलेजेबल बंदे चाहिए वो नहीं है भाई। सो ये तो
AIFF मिलके हमको पागल बना रहा है और हम बन रहे हैं भाई। दी focus and don't go crazy with everything that's happening, because if again, I sometimes feel we are in a situation, it's, I don't know, have we gone to the I don't know where we've gone. Things are so bad at the moment, right? And Hiren, surely people ask you the same question, itna kharab kab thaye? Was it that bad ever? And I always say, we've had bad phases, but never this bad.
इसीलिए मैंने लास्ट मतलब 10 एक में फैमिली फंक्शन में था 5-6 तारीख को, उसके बाद से मैंने इस तरह का 1-to-1 जो आप हम लाइव में पहले करता था आपकी तरह, वो मैंने किया ही नहीं है। मतलब मैंने वो चलो किया, बट वो तो आपको पता है कि वो फन वे में वो उसमें चला जाता है। बट इस तरह का मैं नहीं कर रहा। आज मैंने रात को एक शायद करूंगा, अगर थोड़ा सा वो मूड रहा तो, बिकॉज जैसे आपने बोला कि दिस आर द सेम क्वेश्चन जो कि पीपल क्या हो रहा है, और सेम बार आप सेम चीज आप कितनी बार बोल सकते हो कि सिचुएशन इज डिफिकल्ट, एंड जो है वो मतलब सच में इट्स रियली रियली कंसर्निंग। एंड अनफॉर्चुनेटली जो डिसीजन मेकर है, सम ऑफ द डिसीजन मेकर, दे आर नॉट टेकिंग दैट थिंग जितना उनको सीरियसली लेना चाहिए, या फिर दे डोंट वांट टू टेक इट, वाली चीज।
Molina said that they are missing someone at the place of Greg Stewart as a coach. He's realizing it now. Was he going to ACL 2 without a foreign CDM? Sepahan will badly punish them if it is. Red Apple, yes, but my problem is with this whole CDM discussion is Greg Stewart is not a CDM. He's an attacking midfielder. He's a playmaker, right? They last season got away without a CDM because the quality in the ISL was such that Apuya was able to get away with it. And Apuya did after, had a good season, very good season for them. No? Glock says, sir, remember a few days ago, someone said quality foreigners of Mohun, you were like, which? Guess we all saw that yesterday. I wonder what will an all-Indian side do away against Japan. Glock, again, with all respect to the players, but this is the quality that we have, right? We need to be honest to ourselves. Let's be very clear. FC Goa beat an all Omani Al Seeb because of two individual brilliant moments from
foreigners,
Borja Herrera, especially from Dejan Drazic, but also that good header from Javi Severio.
Severio, yeah.
If Al Seeb had one decent foreign striker, they lose the match 100%. So our foreigners who we've seen, who are, most of them are very good foreigners at ISL level at least.
They are also struggling at this level.
They were struggling. Iker Guruchena, who I really like that. He's a different kind of player. He's not a real striker. He's not a real number 10. He's always there everywhere. He was not on the field that day, for example, right? He couldn't play his game. So therefore, if you're asking me, this is the reality of the quality of the foreigners that we have in our league, right? So therefore, yeah, this is the standard. And the standard needs to go up, Tell me, what will be the scenario of Indian football for upcoming season? Shuman, I don't have a magic ball or something of the sort. I'm not an astrologer. Maybe we should call the former astrologer of Mr. Stimach to tell us what will happen this season. I don't know. I'm very honest to that with you guys. No, that I would, if you ask me the question, I cannot tell you what if the season will happen. The season might end on the 23rd of August with the final of the Durand Cup. Worst case scenario. Right? Therefore, enjoy your Kolkata derby, Diamond Harbour versus East Bengal, and your Northeast derby between Shillong Lajong and Northeast United. And then we'll see. Right? So that's the thing. And they were are saying another discussion for sports bill, which all parties today mentioned will go until December 6th as final date. AIFF and Culture want to hold power as long as possible. Yeah, Kumar, that's been clear now, no? For a while. That should have been clear since the last hearing before
26.
Yeah.
April 26 को last हुआ था ना April को.
Yeah, 26th April. Yeah, that was the last hearing. It should have been clear, no? 26th April, they should have told the court when Reliance, FSDL, and the MRA were being maligned in the court. First of all, to defend it, and secondly, to say, listen, Hamara season, we have something of a problem. 8th of December, the contract runs out. What do we do? Can you give us some guidance? Because you've stopped us from negotiating the MRA. The AIFF actually could have, before that, should have done something, but didn't do that. So therefore, that's the reality, right? But what to do? This is the reality. Hiren, I think, thank you for joining in. I'll do a few more minutes before I end this. But last question. Hope, Hiren, any hope?
होप तो सर क्या मतलब होप तो कुछ बचा ऐसे नहीं बचा है बट डेफिनेटली एज अ फैन तो आप चाहती हो कि चीजें फिर से बैक टू नॉर्मल हो. लेट्स सी आगे कैसे हो क्या अनफोल्ड होता है एंड एट द एंड ऑफ द डे जो भी चीजें हो रही है जैसे हमने डिस्कशन में भी बात किया कि भुगतना आपके फुटबॉल को ही पड़ता है, चाहे वो इंडिविजुअल को कोई यहाँ पे फायदा हो नुकसान हो वो डिफरेंट स्टोरी है, बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे आपका फुटबॉल फेस करता है जो भी रिपरकशन कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस है. सो वही चीज़ है, इंडियन फुटबॉल इज गोना फेस द कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस ऑफ दिस मेस एंड दैट इज नॉट अ गुड थिंग. सो आई थिंक इसको फिर से आपको फिर क्या बोलते हैं कि यहाँ तक लाने में जो इससे पहले जो चीज़ थी वहां तक लाने में फिर से आपको अनदर मे बी 2 3 4 5 ईयर्स लग सकते हैं. सो वी आर यू कैन से कि हम अगर हमारी फुटबॉलिंग हिस्ट्री देखें तो इसी तरह से हमने जो मोमेंट्स आए हैं उनको हमने कैप्चर नहीं किया और इस तरह के हमने कहीं ना कहीं छोटी बड़ी गलतियां करते करते हम जो यहाँ पे चीज़ें जब हमें सही करनी चाहिए थी तब हमने उनको ज़्यादा बिगाड़ा ही है. सो वही खामियाजा हम वही सेम मिस्टेक यहाँ पे फिर से कर रहे हैं. सो दैट इज द होल स्टोरी. एंड एक में यहाँ पे रोशन जी के भाई का एक कमेंट था रिगार्डिंग द इंटरव्यू आई डन विद टुडे इंडिया अंडर 20 वुमेन्स टीम कैप्टन शुभांगी सिंह. इट वाज अ ग्रेट थिंग टू टॉक टू हर एंड होल एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ यू कैन से अंडर 20 क्वालिफायर्स एंड किस तरह से वो जो म्यांमार के सामने सारी चीजें उन्होंने फेस की और क्या चीज थी. सो शी वाज ऑनेस्ट. उन्होंने मतलब ये बोला, आई थिंक कोच ने भी बोला, सर मैं थोड़ा सा ये मेंशन कर देता हूँ कि सेकंड हाफ में ऐसा नहीं था कि उनका प्लान डिफेंसिव था, वो तो ड्यू टू दी प्रेशर प्लेयर्स यू कैन से कि जो यंग उन्होंने एक्सेप्ट किया कि हम 20 साल के हैं तो कभी कभी हमारा वो मतलब अभी एक्सपीरियंस नहीं है तो वो हम प्रेशर में आ गए थे एंड हमने सोचा कि हम 1 गोल के लीड के साथ तो है तो हम इसको डिफेंड कर लेंगे बट हम आगे जाके और ज्यादा इसके ऊपर काम करेंगे और हमें भी पता है कि जो मेन टूर्नामेंट है उसमें वर्ल्ड लेवल की टीमें हैं लाइक नॉर्थ कोरिया एंड जापान, बट दैट इज अ गुड थिंग फॉर अस कि हमें पता तो चलेगा कि हमें कहाँ पे इंप्रूवमेंट करना है. सो शी वाज ऑनेस्ट एंड ऐसा नहीं है कि सब सारी उन्होंने मतलब यही बोला कि सब कुछ सही था. आई थिंक सो दैट वाज अ गुड एक्सपीरियंस. बाकी थैंक यू वेरी मच सर फॉर इनवाइटिंग मी एंड लेट होप सो कि व्हेन वी talk next time, I think some clarity we might get regarding this whole mess. So thank you very much.
So Hiren, we're talking next year.
That's a good question.
I just wanted to show you this comment from Uchut. Uchut, who's my brother-in-law. We were discussing how surprising the AIFF social media statements have been recently, right? You were saying, and I was saying this as well, and we're talking about this cannot be serious, you know. And therefore, for me, it's very sad. The situation is very, very sad. Again, we will, as always, try and cover it as much as we can, and maybe try and bring some sanity to the whole situation, but we can't. No? That's the problem. And we can only hope that the Supreme Court takes the right decision. I think that's the most important thing, that it takes the right decision. And then, that we don't face a FIFA ban, we don't face the closure of the ISL, because then, I don't know, we're back in the 90s, right? And then a new AIFF coming in, I don't even know if then people will want to be AIFF president or AIFF executive committee member, because there is nothing as an AIFF left. You have to totally rebuild. So therefore, that's it. Hiren, thanks a lot.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
I'll catch you very, very soon. So that was Hiren, who joined me today. After a long time, we did a show together, and I was very happy. I'll try and answer some of more of your queries and questions. Newton Chacha says, "Bhai Cummings dhang se bhag bhi nahi pa raha tha field pe." Again, I didn't saw the match. Again, and again, fitness, match practice, all of that counts. Ocho says, Devashish Dotto, East Bengal played against Super Giant, not Mohun. I think one of our fans must be disappointed with this comment. I don't even know why they try to defend these things in the way they do. Again, you win some, you lose some, right? You've been winning a lot of matches recently. So now have the, graciousness of going through defeat. You might not be happy, this, that, everything, but yeah. Arun says, Bangladesh qualify for AFC Asian Cup. How far will they go in competition? FCB, if they qualify for the competition, just being in the competition is a success for them. AFC should also align to the global age groups, U17, U20, and seniors. You could create more complexity. Ochud, I don't think they should. I think the under-23s is something that the AFC uses as a bridge, because it's also linked to the Olympic qualifiers. So it's actually part of the global system, only that they do it every 2 years rather than every 4 years, but it is in that way aligned to it. Will Mohammad Supergiant score brace in getting banned? Pablo's animation, let's see. Up Mohun Bagan, Supergiant ka 7-8 player ka kahan se lega Khalid. Rocky, if they don't come, that's why he's called up 35 players. You've got 25 players now in the squad. So he has enough players theoretically to call up and take to Tajikistan. Your thoughts on this? Mohun Bagan, Supergiant apne players release nahi kar raha hai. Kunal, wrong. Simple. Galti hai Mohun Bagan ka, na? It's not right, And therefore, for me, let's see. Football accounts, it seems like it's going to be East Bengal versus Northeast United in the final of this Durban Cup. Let's see. How do you feel about Sunil Benjamin and Uwe's selection? Uwe's selection, I feel good, because he was one of the good performers as a left back. Sunil Benjamin, I don't know. I mean, I was looking, the guy's 32. He's played last season at Diamond Harbour and, he's played at Trau and then at Diamond Harbour. And now he was at Army and he's 32. I still haven't understood how he is. I don't know. Is it now an Army quota? How does he get in? Good evening, Dark Knight. ISL will close on Friday. Lucky Ali, I don't think it will close, but very, very difficult. So 80% ISL not happening. Dark Knight, I said a little earlier today, 75% to 25% not happening. Salsa Trophy, says Dark Knight. Boreham United has 16 foreigners, JDT has 15 foreigners, even Namding of Vietnam, Lion City Sale of Singapore, and Botham United of Thailand has 10, 11, and 12 foreigners respectively. So this shows, and how the Asian competitions, our teams go into these competitions now with squads mainly made up of foreigners. So that's the way it is, right? So therefore, hey Akash, both Mohun Bagan and FC Goa are not match fit. Mohun Bagan will get benefit from this national camp. I don't know what kind of decision it is. Yeah, Akash, I agree with you. Why not Sunil Chhetri? Dipesh, I think Khalid clearly stated he wants to try out something. So yeah, let's see. Sir, Bandodkar Trophy ka koi news? Newton Chacha, nothing. I have not heard anything on the Bandodkar Trophy. Again, who's going to play, right? Because Even last season, you had some other teams coming in, right? So then you play Goa Pro League. Do you play FC Goa and maybe one or two foreign teams? Supreme Court and AIFF derailing Indian football, says Dark Knight. All the top 5 ASEAN clubs are more valuable than our Indian clubs. Pune United and JDT are valued at 15 and 14 million respectively. Okay, right up. Al Hilal is a few levels above Al Nassr. I don't think they're a few level above Al Nassr. They are better than them, but still, them, Al Ali, and Al Nassr and Al Ittihad, you know, and so therefore that's the thing. I'll just share something that Uchud has just sent me in a WhatsApp. India Today has posted something saying that Mohun Bagan firmly refused to release their players for the ongoing national camp, stating that it's not mandatory outside the FIFA window and accusing the All India Football Federation of neglecting players' welfare. Yeah, it just shows you how far away these guys are from reality. It shows you the level of people that we have involved in Indian football these days. सऊदी क्या वो लोग फरतोदा में पहले खेल चले जाए. Yeah, Newton Chacha, but I know what you mean. Akash says Dimi is visibly overweight since last season, and now McLaren overweight. This squad is absolutely unfit, says Akash. AF is better plan makers when it comes to escalating things longer and longer to complete their tenure, says Raj. So national language level when the league happens and amateur when the league is not happening. Yeah, Dark Knight could be said. Can Mohun Bagan Supergiant loan Aladdin or other foreigners for ACL to real gaming? In theory, yes. The question is, yeah. FC Goa 36 crores versus Al Nassr 1,178 crores. What do I even expect? Even a close draw seems impossible, says Newton Chacha. Conclusion is East Bengal were well prepared. People, they are better at the moment, I would say. So therefore, yeah. Jason Cummings showing middle finger to East Bengal fans surfacing all over. Raj, it's wrong. Simply said, I think players need to control their emotions, but I always also say on the other side, it's easier said than done. I'm sure that he got abused and that was his reaction to the abuse. Again, it's not right, but that's the way he did it. And therefore, in my opinion, it's not good. And therefore, I'm already seeing, Glock says, we saw something similar 2-3 years ago. Mumbai City FC held full strength Al Hilal to 0-2 loss. That was a mighty fine result. If you look back at it, even as a rival fan, I'd acknowledge it. Yeah, but they lost 6-0 away, right? So that's also the reality. Glock, I know they had that one good game, and therefore, yeah. Newton Chacha, I just second you. Don't point at each other. Both of you, East Bengal fans and Mohun Bagan Supergiant fans, were losing each other. Be mature, but yeah. So therefore, for me, guys, there is no right or wrong. There is a certain level of decorum. From a fan's perspective, which in Kolkata, I think a lot of people don't care about these days. Forget Kolkata. I've seen that in Bangalore as well. I've seen that in Kerala as well, even in Mumbai. So that's it. But even elsewhere in the world, and then we say that the players should be behaving as well. So yeah, it's not right from Jason to do it. Period. But sometimes, after those matches, those things, you do things which you shouldn't do. So therefore, yeah. So which is more important, CAFA Nations Cup or ACL 2? Crystal John, if you ask me like that, see, the comparison can't be made, because to me, the problem is when we say, what is more important? The CAFA Nations Cup is important because India is preparing in September for the October window of the of the AFC Asian Cup 2027 final round qualifiers. And therefore, from that perspective, it's very, very important. ACL 2 is important for the clubs, but I think for Mohun Bagan, it would be smarter to send the players to the national team, because they will be training and also getting minutes to play competitive games. But again, right? God. What is this? And the already collage is squeezing the throat, and now you keep shifting the time of your life from 9:45 to 5. Aditya, I've got a football charity game this evening at 6, so which is 9:30 your time. So I have to myself play football, and therefore I thought of doing a live. I invited Hiren to this live. I thank Hiren once more for coming on board of doing this live because again, otherwise, not sure if I can do one tomorrow. So I thought I'll do one today, and therefore, you know, that's the thing. Mohun management is absolute. 1 month of training doesn't mean they're going to conquer over Real Madrid or Barcelona. Do they have alternate matchups for them? And if not, then why? Angry Birds, yeah, this is the management, sadly, that you guys have at the moment. Good decision by Mohun not to release players for some unplanned last minute tournament. It's not a last minute unplanned tournament, Shumo. Right? And if that is, what are you going to do? Train in Kolkata and play CFL teams? That's your better preparation? Or is Mohun Bagan again not going to fly to Iran and just chicken out as they like to do, right? So what are we going to do? Also, why do East Bengal and all our fans think that they can play in I-League if ISL doesn't happen? Because they are clueless. Because the I-League is also not happening, right? Also, there's no chance for India to do better than CAF except minus 10 goals. See, Shuman, this is the problem, right? So, again. Yeah, that's your opinion. I'm biased. I prefer club football over national football. Okay, that's your opinion. The thing with the Indian national team training, every time 2 or 3 injuries take place, which do hurt on crucial times, they need to upgrade. They've not had, so therefore, yeah. So you said earlier you have roots with East Bengal. Don't know, but Mohun fans might be giving hate to you. Raj, I don't care who gives me hate or not, right? And if and I will take it the way it is, whatever people say, and I don't really bother. There is no winner in this rivalry these days. It's just a lack of decorum. It's a lack of understanding of where Indian football stands. Yesterday was not the day to bother about a derby. Yesterday evening was about the survival of the Indian Super League. That was more important. But who cares? We had a useless football match in the bloody Duran Cup, right? Which is the timing of that tournament is a total disaster, for which the AIFF and the army needs to be blamed. Whoever is scheduled this and planned this should be taken to task, right? This is our biggest problem. We've got too many incompetent heads running around in Indian football and destroying what little has been created over the last 2-3 decades. Destroying. And one day, all of these people, yeah. But who's going to do it? By the way, sir, the AIFF hand the trophy to Takashi? Of course not, Blue. First of all, Churchill Brothers have not handed back the trophy. Supposedly, the AIFF is creating a second trophy. The AIFF has not even written a letter to Reliance to say, hey, listen, we've got a new team that you should be including into the ISL this season. So what? I've been hearing about this Praful Patel loyalists knowingly whacking which always resume, and I'm not believing this. I just want to ask you about this. I don't know. Aditya, again, a lot of people are saying a lot of things. I think 90% of what you listen to here, just don't listen. I've said this to you multiple times. Don't bother. What's the plan of a Praful Patel loyalist? That Praful Patel will come back and take over the AIFF again? Do you think that Praful Patel at this moment in time is interested to come back to the AIFF? Anybody who thinks that is just dumb. It's just dumb, right? No brains. Because Mr. Patel is eyeing other things. भाई पहले चटर ब्रदर्स ट्रॉफी वापस कर दे, AFF तभी काशी को दे पाएगा. Newton Chacha, new trophy being made at the moment. They are not getting that trophy back from Chester Brothers. Like if anything happens to Larimavia or Tekcha, Mohun Bagan is doomed for ACL. Angry Birds, Mohun Bagan is doomed anyway for ACL too. Mohun Bagan have been the worst performers in continental competition for India. You know, so what difference does it make? Do you think this team, if you can't even beat East Bengal in a Duran Cup, do you think that as a Mohun Bagan you can compete in Asia? Just asking. I want to ask you this personally, Ananda, since you are a Bengali, do Bengali club fans have the right to look down upon us just because they existed before independence and our clubs came now? Is this the right approach? No. No, Aditya. But do all of them do that? No, they don't. Right? So, yeah. वो आई लीग का ट्रॉफी का क्वालिटी तो इंटर विलेज टूर्नामेंट ट्रॉफी जैसा है, एंड यू कॉल आई लीग अ सेकंड टियर, and you call I League a second. Newton Chacha, it's a huge trophy. I've even held it myself once. So, yeah. What are you expecting, Gaf? I'm expecting a beatdown of our players. This will be embarrassment again, but let's see anyone even impresses. But it's Jimmy, so let's hope. I can see we will be thrashed in, Kafa says. Wales and Blue. Listen, guys, we're not playing the first teams of those nations because we're outside of a FIFA window. So that's, I think, saving grace for us as Indian football. But anyway, so let's see. Trophy broken last season while handing over to Mohun Sporting. I guess, Raj, they used some glue or maybe some Fevicol to put it together again. Take it as a banter. It happens worldwide. Yeah, Anna, very right answer to Aditya. Aditya takes it very personally, and we've been this and that. Both the clubs, I always say, not only both the clubs, I add Mohun and Sporting to the mix. These three clubs should be at the forefront of the development of Indian football. And Mohun Bagan and East Bengal have not even signed the letter. Mohun Bagan and East Bengal are not even part of the conversation with the AIFF in regard to the future of the Indian Super League. And this is the weird one to me, is that, do you think that if the ISL disappears, Mr. Goenka and Imami will stick around to fund the clubs? East Bengal, Mohun Bagan will suddenly be in a, in a situation like Mohun and Sporting at the moment. Who is giving hit to the other? Both sides have insane people. One needs to be sane for the very least to take in his statements. I'm Mono fan. I agree with him on most of the points. Thanks, Angry Birds. Again, truly Mono. Sorry, I mean, if you like it or not, I say what I feel is true and what is right. And sadly, the situation is, I feel it the way it is, and it is very, in my opinion, is very, 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 very problematic at the moment. We are in a situation. Let's see. Did they really stuck back the broken trophy Fevicol? Newton Chacha, I don't know. I was just making a sarcastic comment, but in my opinion, that would be either they put glue or Fevicol on it. I don't think that anything else has been done. I myself am a Mohun fan. I was absolutely outraged at the news of the club not releasing players for CAF U23. And Arnab, that should be the opinion of a real fan, right? If your club does something wrong, and this is what I've said to many, many friends, and that if your club is doing something wrong, say it, mention it, because that in a way should be helping the club to grow. East Bengal and Mohun Bagan should be much bigger, and they live in their own little world. And if they would go, forget Europe, just go to Southeast Asia. Just see clubs in Thailand. Just see clubs in Malaysia. See clubs in Indonesia. Go even to Vietnam, or even now Cambodia. Just see what they're doing. Then you would get a reality check of where you actually factually stand, right? But I'm more surprised how Goenka stayed away from the discussion. Blue, he doesn't want to interact with the AIFF, supposedly. That's the whole reason, So therefore, for me, and there seems to be this thing between East Bengal and Mohun Bagan. If Mohun Bagan doesn't go, East Bengal doesn't go, or vice versa. And both the clubs are not doing themselves a favor. If ever there is a roadmap, and there is, that there's a roadmap of the future of Indian football, and stats, television, and streaming stats prove it. The clubs have no financial value for the growth of Indian football. That is also a sad reality. I've spoken about it on this channel. East Bengal, Mohun Bagan should be at the forefront of all of the things that we're talking about. But at the moment, I feel they're part of a problem. They're not part of a solution. Like I just checked Mohun Bagan, MBFT Facebook post, and the supporters are lashing out against the management in the comment section. Yeah, angry birds. Mohun Bagan fans have been spoiled in the last 5-6 years with success. Right? They've been spoiled. And therefore, that's the problem. Everyone is outraged, as I said, they're thinking from their knees. Yeah, blue. Kolkata clubs are not well managed. Mohun Bagan has been winning by throwing around with money. You could have had a better team with less money. Let's be honest. Right? And therefore, I expect nothing from them. I've never expected anything. Anava, can you make a live show with the guys from International Soccer Break? They're OCI NRIs from US and sometimes cover Indian national team. International Soccer. Yeah, I've heard about them. I've actually seen something from them. So yeah, I will keep that in mind and try and reach out to those guys and try and see if they're willing to maybe do something and jump. Yeah. Try and reach out to them. Good idea, Roshan. For not releasing players, yes, for not releasing players, for not signing defensive midfielder, for not signing a 6th foreigner or a 7th foreigner. There's a lot of stuff that has been said. Right, guys, I need to slowly prepare myself for a charity football game I need to play in 2.5 hours. I need to play football myself. Yeah. Wish me luck. Hope I can survive and play a few minutes. Let me try and answer some of your last questions. Maybe going to new or AIFF officials. I just cannot believe this. And no need delaying the process just to complete that time. I said this, I'd hope Goenka's management will be different, but in past years they showed they are nothing better. Yeah, that's blue. From several years, I've noticed that majority of Kolkata club fans now don't care about Indian football, only watches their own club matches. There is also a group which only watches derbies. Yeah, Raj, I think that is an interesting part, right? There are some fans of these two clubs who bother about Indian football. Those of you who are here or on other platforms, there are East Bengal Mohun fans who care about their clubs, which is fine. Some actually just care about the derby, right? So therefore, those are realities. Thanks, Blue. Thanks, Methamphetamine. And thanks, Newton Chacha. What happened in court today? Anibal, nothing. They have another hearing on the 22nd. So on 22nd, on Friday, there's not going to be a result, but there's going to be taking it to the next level. Right. So as I always say, like, share, and subscribe. arunfoot on YouTube. Visit my other social medias. 27 likes on this video. I think we can do better than that. Again, those of you who might be watching, subscribe to the channel and watch the short videos. I did a speculative thing today on is Cristiano Ronaldo going to play in Goa or not. Listen to that. Before that, yesterday I did something on Khalid's first India squad. And yeah, keep on supporting the channel. Thanks as always. And I will try and see. Yes, I will not try and injure myself. Can I exactly? And Dark Knight, I'll take this as the last one. Each will hate each other, but they copy each other decision at policy level. Yeah, Dark Knight, that's a very good thing. Thanks for the wishes. I will try and be back tomorrow evening, but let me now get into my zone. Let me get ready for my football game this evening in Hang, and I'll catch you. Don't stop supporting Indian football, and I'll catch you very soon. Bye.